Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm just going to take a second and load our video and our comments. Here we go. I'm having an issue with my camera today. And I'm not sure why it's not letting me go in landscape mode. So I've spent a few minutes trying to figure that out. But I think this might be okay. Did you guys can still see what I'm doing, and then I can approach this like this, and it won't be so bad, I don't think. Get this right. Sorry guys. I'm just gonna plug in. Well, I'm giving everyone a minute to come in. And we'll get right into it. So I'm Fifi the Paper Crafter across social media, guys. And I'm Fifi McLeod on Facebook. Today I want to show you how we're going to make our own pet tapes. So basically, I'm going to show you this one here that I ordered from Seth Apter's shop, and they're just amazing, if you guys can see. They're like a transparent, translucent tape, but they're also opaque, so you get all kinds of different patterns when you order them. And this is one of the ledger ones from Seth Apter's shop. So I just wanted to show you guys. So essentially, we're going to be making these out of packing tape. So I'm going to show you how to make your own. Hi Linda, thanks for joining. I'm not sure what happened with my camera this morning. It's not letting me do my usual landscape mode, which is odd. Probably it's something to do with my phone. So I'll have to look into that. So essentially, we're going to be making image transfers on packing tape. So if you guys can see this, I'm just going to grab a book page that's here beside me quickly. Here we go, just to show you guys. So they are see-through when you put them down, and they're both see-through and opaque in spots. So they're a lot of fun for layering and collaging and doing all kinds of things, if you guys can see. So I've done this one here so far with a printable, and then this one here, the gentleman. And where he's light, he's like transparent or translucent, and then it's opaque anywhere where you have darker image or the bigger design. So all you have to do for these is just put down some glue that dries clear, and then you'll be able to layer these and use them in your collaging and in your makes. Hi Natalie, thanks for joining, love. So these are a lot of fun. So I have a couple printables here that I've done. Let me see here. Yep, these two. And these are not available yet, but they will be available in a digital kit that's coming. So I just wanted to share that. This is kind of like a sneak preview. So we're going to take our scissors, and we're going to cut the first one out. So let's do the gentleman here, because this is going to have both translucent and opaque features on it. And I'm going to show you how easy these are to do. Now, I just used my Epson EcoTank printer. So I'm using inkjet printer inks. And I printed these a couple of days ago. So I didn't print them this morning or anything. So that's what I would do. I would print them and I would let them sit probably for a couple of days. A day or two before you just make sure that they're 100% dry, right? And then what we're going to do, we're going to take our tape. And I'm just using, this one's from a company called Duramax. and this is packing tape that I got from the dollar store. So it doesn't have to be a fancy brand or anything like that. It just has to be packing tape. And that little piece is compromised. My cat has been in here. So we're just going to clip that off. There we go. And I'm going to take my packing tape and I'm going to completely cover him. So I want to make sure that I've got both sides. Yep, right to here. I'll do it like that. There we go, just for a second. So I can, there we go, you guys can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to clip that right about here. And then I want another piece. So essentially we layer it to go right over top of that one. There we go. Just like that. And I can go ahead and cut this. Okay, and I like to kind of double that over so I have my end sticking out there. Alright, now I'm going to lay this flat so you guys can see what I'm doing. Here we go. So essentially, I have put my tape down on both sides. And I'm going to use some kind of a brayer. Like a, sorry, not a brayer. You can use a credit card, something flat. This is actually a vinyl, for applying vinyl. So you're essentially taking out all the air bubbles. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to apply this like this, just to get all my air bubbles out. So it doesn't matter, I had some buckling here. So, and you don't have to be nice about it. You can really apply it, because that's essentially what we want, guys. We want a really good stick from our tape to our image. So I'm not being careful or light about it. I'm really applying the pressure. That's just what I wanted to convey. Sorry, guys. There we go. Make sure all of our air bubbles are all out. Yep, just keep applying that pressure. I'm using a Cricut vinyl tool. So basically, this is just for taking out any air bubbles too when you're doing vinyl and stuff. Okay, so I have a really good stick on there. And then what I want to do is peel him up off of here. There we go, so I can show you. Like that. See, so we've really stuck him down. And we're going to turn him over. And I'm just going to give him another on this side. Super quickly. Just to make sure he's really stuck down. Okay. Then we're going to use a spray bottle full of water. And I'm just going to start spraying that. Just like that. And I'm going to let that sit for a second. Okay. And then I'm going to come in very lightly with my fingers. And in a circular motion, I'm going to start rubbing. And I'm doing this very, very lightly with very little pressure. So it's just a little bit, it's a little bit more pressure than touching it, but I'm just giving it a very light rub. And this is essentially what we're going to do, guys. We're going to rub off the paper on the back, and we're just going to keep, pulling it off like that as we go. Okay, I've pretty much got a good roll here. Okay. And you're just going to finesse it like that. And it will reveal the image underneath without pulling the image actually off. I do get a little bit of bleed when I'm using red. So like when you're using magenta, you may get like a little bit of bleeding, and that's normal because it is an inkjet printer. I've seen this method work probably the best with a laser printer images, but I don't have a laser printer, guys. I have the inkjet printer. So I just wanted to convey that you can achieve the same results with the inkjet. You just have to be a little bit more careful in terms of your pressure when you're pulling up the images, because you can pull the entire thing up and then have spots that are like ripped. So I just wanted to share that. So here we go. We're getting right in here. Hi Diana, thanks for joining. There we go. And I just keep brushing all this extra bits to the side. There we go. So we're just taking off all this extra paper here. And we're revealing our image underneath. And then anywhere that we have just this white image, we're going to have like a translucent effect with our tape, and you'll be able to see everything behind it. So this is a printable that I created, and I did a combination of them, so we're going to have both translucent and opaque images. So I just wanted to share that. That's why I've done them that way. Here we go. And you can get sort of like a roll going at either end. And you can kind of tell as you go where you have like extra paper and where it's thin enough. You'll be able to kind of determine that. Like right here, there's excess. Okay. And I want to pull it all off as we go. And here. Because you don't want to do it too thin either where you're ripping it. Like I got a little tear spot here, but that's okay. I'm going to embrace that. You just have to, it's just a matter of playing with it. And being careful. There we go. I have the excess here. I'm just going to roll it right like that. Here we go. And they are wet. So I'm loving how that's turning out. I'll just kind of move all this to the side. And I'll just throw that in the garbage when we're done. Here we go, like any of these bits and pieces. Sorry guys, I want you to be able to see. There we go. And I'm just giving this a light. Very lightly. And then little circular motions, and then it takes off all the excess paper. And you can feel with your finger too where it has a little bit of bunch up. So then you know what needs to be taken off. Because it'll feel thicker than the rest. Just trying to get that corner here. There we go. And then when you feel like it's mostly good to go, we can put it aside to dry. Now, if you're doing this with a laser printer, you could submerge this entire thing in water and then peel the whole thing back. But we can't do that because it's an inkjet and it's just going to tear it off. It's not going to actually transfer to the actual the actual tape itself, because those ones will transfer right to it, where you have nothing left but the image. But with the inkjet printer, we can get it where it's absolutely transparent in most places. If you guys can see that. There we go. So that's our first one. I'll put that aside. There. Okay. Then, let's do this lady here. So I'm not adding any glue or anything to it. I'm just using the packing tape. And you want to print these on thin copy paper. You wouldn't want to print them on something heavy like cardstock. And then I sort of did this one dimensionally, so the frame sticks out off the page. Just to give it some character. Like that. Okay. Well, that's our next one. I'll just put this over here. There we go. Same thing, we're going to use our packing tape. And I have air bubbles, and that's okay. There we go. Here we go. I'm just going to make sure the whole thing is down evenly. And as you guys can see, I've got major air bubbles here, and that's okay. So we're just going to work them all out. And any major creases like that makes the frame look old. So see how it has that huge crease in the center? Almost like a shattered look. So even though I have that, I can still embrace it. So it kind of looks like my my window is cracked. Normally I would try to avoid that, but I'm actually liking how that looks. It ages it even further. Okay, I'm just going to make sure that we have this down really well. So I apply a lot of pressure, whoops, when I'm doing that, and I tore that here from the tape. That's okay, I just wasn't careful. That's okay. Whoops, I tore it there too. We're on a roll with that today. That's okay. I can embrace those imperfections. I think, yeah, we'll fix up the tape a little bit too. It's way too long. So you might find that too. You probably, like me, prefer a smaller edge around the tape. It's just more manageable. There we go. And that's okay. I've got some tears. And we can absolutely embrace that. It's just going to make it look torn and old. So anything that embraces that, I'm good with. Hi, Morg. Thanks for joining. Okay, so we're going to go back over here. So as I mentioned, I have a couple of tears, so I just have to be mindful of that when I'm pulling the layers off. Okay, let's start over here in this corner. There we go. So I'm just using packing tape, images that I printed from my inkjet printer. And packing tape. Do I have her the right way? I do, yep. Okay, here we go. So you can kind of get it into a rolling motion where it starts to come up. Okay, that's where my tear is. Just have to be a little bit more gentle here. And you want it wet, like damp. You don't want it like soaking wet, like you would with the, like how you'd wet it with the laser printer transfers. Here we go. So I have a really good translucent layer here. And I don't mind that too. When you have spots when you take off too much and you expose the tape, it just makes it look really worn and really tattered, like I have it here, so that I can make it look like it's gradually going up. There we go. So I just kind of play with the layers as I'm removing them. And very gently. Very, very little pressure. You can do this with any of the images that you print on your inkjet printer. You can do this with images from a laser printer. You can do this with magazine pages. And the magazine pages, you can completely submerge them. And we're also going to do this with book pages, and I'm going to show you guys. So I just want to do a couple of these so we can see the end results. So even though I've torn her in two spots and I have the crease, it's almost going to look like my frame's cracked. So that's going to give a really neat effect to this. So I'm really excited to see the result. So just, yeah, any imperfections, just embrace them. And it's just a lot of fun. And this is a great way to add, like, it's almost like I mentioned, a pet tape, washi tape sort of look to it. And I'm loving the pet tapes. They're very much, they look like a thicker packing tape sort of texture to them. And then they're printed that they have spots on them that are both opaque and translucent. Yeah, I have it here. Yep. That's one of the ones that I ordered from Seth's shop, and they're just amazing. So this is kind of a really neat way to kind of create your own. And you can stick these to a journal, or you can use them for collaging, whatever you like. And if you want to tone down the glossiness of the tape, you just put some gel medium or matte gel medium over it. There we go. I'm just taking off that layer here. And then we just let it dry once we feel like we're there. And as soon as they're dry, they're ready for you to use in a journal, or in a collage, or on a make. You could use these in mixed media as well. There's so many things that we can do. Okay, there we go. Just want to get this a little bit more over here. There. So it's going to give us a very tattered look. Here we go. So let's have a look. See what we have. See, she's perfect. So I'm super happy with that. And again, just like this one, and anywhere where we have it like that, it becomes translucent. So it's both translucent and opaque. So that's really neat. And that'll be, yeah, translucent through with that yellow too. So even though there's yellow here, it's all translucent. So that's amazing. I'm loving how these are turning out. So again, if you rip them or you have that crease, I'm just going to embrace that because it looks like I've shattered my mirror or my picture frame. So it's kind of neat looking. Okay, there's two. And let's, we can do one of these. So this one here is just an ephemera piece. So let's do this, and it's different kind of sizing here. This one sort of has like a jagged edge where it's not straight, so that'll be neat to kind of see the effect of that. Here we go. And this should not be two. This probably should be one, or maybe one and a little bit. Yeah, I got that in one. There we go. Oops, I looked at the corner of that. That's okay. Yeah, that wasn't straight. Sorry, guys. And I'm just going to cut this. It's my packing tape. It's really finicky. Okay, here we go. There, and I'm completely on there. Okay, so again, we're just going to put this side, put that down here. I'm not worried about that. So I'm just going to embrace that. I have a number that's all ripped off. So we're just going to do this. I've got water on my table. That's okay. There we go. water on the table, but that's okay. And I'm going to do the same thing here. So you can do this with anything. You can do this with like your photos, or like the portrait kind of printables that you have, or you can do this with ephemera pieces, animals, mushrooms, tickets, just about anything. So just make sure that when you're printing, you're using light copy paper. So like, you know, 35 or 40, even 50-pound copy paper. You're not using like thick cardstock, like 130-pound cardstock or something, because it's just too hard to get the images to transfer. It's easier to do it on nice thin copy paper. But you can transfer them from copy paper to thick cardstock. Here we go. So that's this one here. Like that. And again, I'll show you guys the book. And that's all translucent. Right through here and here and bits and pieces there. So it's super fun. And I'm just going to clip this down. Yep. So that's more manageable. Yeah, you can use magazines. And the magazines, though, Morag, you'll be able to do it like this. So, the same concept when you're putting it down, use like a scraper tool or a credit card or something to scrape it on. But then when it's scraped down, you can submerge it completely in water. So, the transfers that are done with magazines and with your laser prints, you can actually completely submerge them and the whole image comes off, like the whole paper backing comes off, and your image is on your packing tape. So I just wanted to share that. The only reason why we're doing it a little different is because these are inkjet transfers from my EcoTank printer. So we just have to we can get it down to a very light texture, but it's not going to completely transfer to it like the other two methods would. So I just wanted to share that. So this is just the way to do it with using an inkjet printer, because I don't have a laser. So if you do have a laser or magazines, absolutely, you can give that a go. So now what I want to do is move these aside. So we're just going to put these flat down this way, on here, and then on here. Yeah, like that. Let's do them to dry. Okay, I'm not too worried if I get the other ones wet. And then I'm going to move these aside. There we go. So you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm going to take our encyclopedia. This one's really neat. It also has images. I just want to make sure that I'm not doing... Yep, this is good. So I'm just going to pull one of these out so I don't have any images. Yeah, one page. Okay, then we're going to... I want to try this. I haven't done this, so I want to try two different methods to see if this will work. Oh, it's being stubborn now. Doesn't want to come up all in the same piece. That's okay. Just gotta get it going. There. Okay. So let's try something like this. I like those numbers here too. So just right like that. This was from an old encyclopedia. Here we go. And we're going to do the same thing where we're just, yeah. Securing down our tape. Okay, now we're going to take our packing tape from the bottom or the top, and we're going to peel it. Yeah, that's what we want. If you guys can see this. And I'm doing this slowly. Oh, sorry guys. Okay. And then we're left with something that looks like this. So that's super fun too. And then we have like this section here. You can put that on a tag or just about anything. And if you can see, it's pulled up the words, but then I have it transferred where it's, yeah, I've got bits of the words here too, if you guys can see that. Like that. So I'm super excited about that. And you can use that as a piece of tape. And then a lot of it too is translucent. And you can do the same thing where you go on the back of it and you take off, I'll show you. Okay. So if you feel like it's not translucent enough, like the bottom's like perfect, but the top could be like a little bit more. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And then do the same thing where I'm just taking off some of the extra, like an image transfer here. Just like that. To make it more translucent. Here we go. Now I'm getting the smearing of the black, but see, it becomes more, if you guys can see that. And it's completely see-through. Like that. So it's pretty amazing. When you're working with it, it's a lot of fun. And it just adds that something to some of your work. And again, if I wanted it to be more opaque, opposed to, like more matte, opposed to something that's more, like if I wanted it to be, more matte instead of glossy like this, like the tape, I just have to add gel medium to it. So you just do a layer and it'll knock the gloss down. So I just wanted to share that. And yeah, and once this is dry, you guys can see it becomes like sticky again. So you'll be able to use that like a piece of tape. So super fun. And yeah, and see, you can tell here where I've gone ahead and I've taken off some of the page, and you'll get what looks like a translucent layer of just words. So it's super fun. You can do this in magazines and book pages and all kinds of things. Let's even try one of the images here. I'm just curious to see how this is going to work. I haven't really played with it too much. I've done all sorts of vintage, like gentlemen and different things, but it's really fun to see. And as you can see, it's both colored images as well as black and white images. And these are, I'm not sure, but it's like printing from, like they're really old. This is like 1930s, I want to say, or 1940s. Here's a microscope. So like, let's use something that's an image that we don't care really too much about. Okay, just to try it. But even still, that's going to be neat. Okay, here we go. So I'm just going to cut that out. Here we go. Let's just taper that off. Doesn't have to be perfect. We want that thinner so it fits on our tape. I'm going to have to do that in 2 pieces. That's okay. Here's the first one. And the second one. Just overlap that here. There we go. And then we're going to take our, sorry guys, I'll get back into frame so you can see. Okay, so this is our book page image. There we go. And we're going to take our tool again. And you can use these on a canvas as well. So you can use them on anything, guys, right from an art or a junk journal to your mixed media pieces. There we go. Make sure we've got a really good stick. There we go. Okay, we're going to turn it over. Oh, I got some ink off my desk. That's okay. And we're going to trim that down. Hi, Tammy. Thanks for joining, love. We are doing image transfers and making pet tapes with inkjet prints, and now we're doing book pages and book page images. So we're not too worried about this method because we'll be able to, because the book's printed, we'll be able to submerge it. There. So for a picture of a microscope. American Optical Co. A microscope made about 1875. That's cool. And then on the back, so this is all sticky, and we're going to submerge it like that in water. Okay. We're going to rub it. Yeah, like that. There we go. And then it's going to reveal underneath our image. And I'm just using regular packing tape from the dollar store. Nothing fancy or special. So now this is going to be the method that's probably, I would say, more fun, because if you have a laser printer, magazine images, or like this book pages that are images and text or whatever, you're going to be able to submerge this and do the transfer the way that we're doing it now. So this is just going to show you the difference. All your book page comes off. So this is showing you guys the difference. The book page comes off and you have the image still on here. So it's amazing. And we're just going to keep going with this. And you don't have to be too careful with this method, because the more page you take off, the more you reveal the image. If that makes sense. So there's no destroying the image like you do with the ink transfers. So you just have to be really careful when you're doing ink transfers, just because the pages, it rips and it doesn't actually transfer the whole image to the tape. You basically want to take it down to the last layer. Whereas this is, you're taking off all the book page. If that makes sense. I just wanted to explain the difference. Because yeah, see, I'm taking that right off. And you guys will see the difference. This is more of what like a pet tape is. So, a lot of fun. So my book page is like gone now, guys. If you guys can see that. And what I'm left with is the tape. That translucent layer of tape. And then when you put it against a book page, it looks like that. So that's amazing. I'm glad that that worked with the, I didn't know that that would work with the images from a book, because I guess they're the way that they're printed. So super fun. I'm excited to find that. So that's cool. And then we can layer that all kinds of different ways. And it has my perfect thing at the bottom. And that's the thing about when you're doing the transfers this way too. It's exactly how it looks this way. When you're putting it down, it's not transferring your images backwards. So I wanted to share that, because some methods of doing image transfers it backwards. Like the method when you take your image like this, that's like your printout, and you cover the entire thing in fluid medium or gloss gel medium, and you put your image down like that with the product on the other side, and you do the same method where you wet once it's fully dry, you wet the back, and then you do the same thing where you're taking it off, and then it reveals the image, but it flips it. So that method flips it, whereas this method does not. So any place where you have text or anything like that, it's all going to remain the right side up. And then again, I can touch this up a little bit once it's dry. So again, you're still going to get a great result from your inkjet prints. And when you put it up against here, it's going to be see-through. So it's just a lot of fun. So play with it, guys. Try different books, different magazines, different things. I just so happen to have that at my desk. So I'm super excited with the result of that. That's really cool. So just to try it now, I used an image I didn't really care too much about. I just used a microscope on here. One of the ones from the book. So that's super fun. And I've ripped her a couple times by accident, and I have a crease. So I'm just going to embrace that with the photo frame. So yeah, that's really neat. And once these are dry, your packing tape stays, it stays sticky. It just needs to dry. So that's a lot of fun. And then you get different effects of things that you put behind it. So it just gives you that extra layer. And I mentioned, they're like the ones that I ordered from Seth After. This is where I got the, the inspiration from. So when I use these are like, they're both translucent and opaque and see-through, and they're all different ones, right? So that's kind of like making your own pet tape. Yeah, and you can use it on tags. You can use it in your art journals. You can do this on a canvas. You could use this in your mixed media. There's so many things that you can do. And I love even this one here with the book page, guys. So all I did was just put it on and peel it off. And the same thing, so if we wanted it more transparent, we could just, now that I've tried it with that, let's just go ahead and do that, and we'll take off this remaining. Sorry guys, I'll move this so you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, right here. Okay, we'll just, I wet this, and we'll just keep going while we're taking off the actual book page to reveal the words. And it works with magazine images. I've seen them done where they submerge them. So I'm just adding a little bit of water with my water bottle. You could actually take it and submerge it. You just can't do that method when you're doing it with, when you're doing the inkjet prints. But if you're using the magazines, or in this case the book pages, like the encyclopedia pages, and you're using laser transfers, then absolutely you can submerge it. So this is great. This is me taking off all this book page. Here we go. Yeah, and we're left with, oh, sorry guys. There we go. We'll just be left with words on here. There we go. So taking off the actual page. And then when we put that down, we're just left with the words. And it's completely see-through. If you guys can see that. So that's amazing. And you can just add little bits and pieces here and there. The other thing that works too, guys, is newspaper print. So with the newspaper print, you can do one of two things. You can do the image transfer the same way, just like this, or it's as simple as putting some acrylic paint down on your work and then putting it into acrylic paint or into gesso, and it transfers all your words off. So I love doing that too with newspaper prints, like just the text from a newspaper. So it's just a lot of fun. And I've built up some, I don't have them handy, but I've built up some of my pages that way. And then same thing with the books, where you're just putting the gesso down, and then you're putting the page into like the book pages into gesso, and then you're pulling them up, and then it'll transfer the words down. So that's another fun way to do it. And I've posted some that I've done like that. And this one here with the words, and you can see right through it. So that's super fun. I have this here in front of me too. Let's go ahead and do this one with the bee. And I love how tattered these are, so we're just going to kind of embrace this. So these are printables that I've just recently made, but I don't have them as part of a kit yet. So this is kind of like a sneak peek, because these are going to be part of a digital kit coming in the new year. I just haven't started it or finished it yet. It's going to be like a collage kit for doing image transfers and little makes and different things. So it's just going to be fun, and it's going to be eclectic, sorry guys. So it just, like, you know, bees and maybe some birds, botanicals, vintage people. It's going to have all kinds of like collage features to it. But essentially, that's the size I'm going for them to fit our packing tape transfers. Some of these are like perfect, and others maybe not so much. That might be a little big, but that's okay. I'm just going to embrace that. Some will tear off, and others will be perfect. Okay. I'm cutting it down just to make it more manageable. So, same thing, we're just gonna go ahead and put this down. And we're gonna take our, whoop, there we go. So, there, I bet. There we go. Okay. And I'm just using a Cricut vinyl tool. And I'm not being nice, and I'm not being gentle with this. I'm being rough. Making sure that my image is down and completely adhered to this. I think this is part of the reason why the image transfer works, is because we're really pushing it. There we go. And then the other side. And you can do the same thing with the other side too. Sometimes I do that, like I will for this. Oh, we're still getting stuck. There we go. We can do another for this side. Just a once over. There. Okay, and then we go ahead with our water. So remember, on the opposite side of the actual tape that we've stuck. Okay. So again, this is an inkjet print from my Epson Eco Tank. And we want to finesse this. We want to be very careful. We don't want to go too hard. So I'm giving this like a light touch. There we go. And we can see as the magic is happening. There we go. Whoops. There we go. So we just finesse it, and then the little layer of paper comes off. There we go. And you can kind of see where it needs to be pulled off and evened out. I don't know if you guys can see that from the camera. But just make it all even. Super relaxing. Like, I find this to be a lot of fun. And it's a great way, you know, if you're in between projects too, it's a great way to stop and to make something fun for your next makes. There we go. And that's kind of what I'm doing, guys. I'm building up all of my collage fodder and my bits and pieces to make some interesting things for my next journals that I'm working on. And again, it's just beautiful, and you can see behind that. So that'd be great on a pocket, an envelope, anything. Even when, you know, you're doing like a window pocket and you want something to go behind it, that's a great option. So it's just a lot of fun. So I hope you guys try some and you post them in either group, in my group or this one. So feel free to give this a go. And again, that was from a book page, so you can soak it, or you can just do what I did with the spray bottle and the water. And then these become very sticky again. You guys can see that after they dry. So then you can, I would glue them though, like a little bit of maybe art glitter glue or something that dries translucent. So again, and then this is our gentleman that we did here. And then he's both opaque and translucent. So just super fun, and we can try different images and have different results. Oh, we're stuck. There we go. This one here that we did. Little ephemera piece. And the lady, I have a crease here, and I tore her in 2 spots by accident, but that's okay. I'm going to embrace this. She's just going to be super grungy. Maybe on a window pocket or something. It'll be super fun. So I just wanted to share that. And then this is the book page, just completely translucent. And that'll be fun to put down. And that one here. And the bee. Alright, I'm going to leave it at that, guys. And I'm going to be live next week. And we're going to start some ephemera pieces. So I'm super excited. And actually, I could take a second and show you guys what I've been working on. So, as I mentioned, I'm working on a journal series. In my group, we're working on the covers. So that's kind of where I'm at. But I'm just going to put these aside. I've been working on doing collage fodder. So I'll show you what I have so far. And this is some of the stuff we've been doing here too. Just leave those aside because that's for my cover. Okay, here we go. So basically, this is kind of what I'm looking at. I have a pile on my countertop right now. So I've done some gel plate print pulls. So I've got this one here from both my Seth Apter and my Tim Holtz stencils. And this is one of my favorites here. I love this with the copper and the Grateful stencil from Seth. And this one I did with my Posca markers. And these are just some pulls. That's paper. Another pull. This one here. And copper and gold. And I love the copper and I love the gold effects. So much fun. And this one here is one of the new stencils that I got from Seth. And I've done it in gold with black India ink. And I've got copper with the India ink, but I did it where I didn't saturate it, so it looks more warm. And then this is where it looks where it's more saturated, like I really put it on thick. And so that's some of the collage stuff that I have to play with for the beginning stages of our journal. And this is the stuff that we did a few weeks back when we took our wax paper and we did the collaging to it. So this was Mod Podged, and this is translucent, as you can see pretty much through it. And this was done with sewing patterns. So that was this one. And then everything from here down we've waxed. So this was actually using beeswax and an iron, and we did that. And I have a whole bunch that are just, you guys can see that they're just plain, and they're so beautiful. So this is wax paper and deli sheets that I've done that just have the wax on them. And I love that. And when I do some collaging over top of this, it's going to give it so much texture. So I'm loving that. And then this one we did with collaging down with, and it just feels so amazing. We collaged it down with, on the wax paper with Mod Podge, but we also, I used Seth Apter's, I'll show you guys, Seth Apter's coffee spray. So that's the color of this, and it's just so luscious. I love it. Because the Tim Holtz Vintage Photo is more of like a lighter brown, where this looks more like chocolate. And I just love this color. It's so amazing. And again, you have like some spots that look more reddish brown and others that are like more dark. They're just amazing. So we have this. And then these ones are packing tape, or sorry, packaging. And I'll show you guys too. If you can see, yeah, we'll just use this. It's translucent. I love that. So it's like a dirty translucent. It's so good. I'm loving that. So we can put stuff behind it, and there's all sorts of things that we can do. And it just smells so good. It smells like beeswax. It's so good. And it has such a nice smell. And let's see, we did a book page. This is one of the French book pages that I had. I have some ledger here. So those are completely, if you guys can see, they're see-through. And then I have the owls that we did. So those are amazing. And they even feel amazing. It just gives it a whole new texture. And I did a blank page just to show you that it turns it to like, almost like a vellum. So I mean, if you needed vellum in a pinch and you didn't have any, just iron some papers in your beeswax. It's just a lot of fun. And this here turns it, like the windows and the part of the flooring, to translucent. So that's one of my kit pages. So you do anything, regular paper to your printables that you print. And then here's some more ledger that I did. And then these are all wax. These were like the collateral damage, right? So this is all the wax paper that I used from the deli sheets. So they just became waxed. And same with the packaging. So that's what we have to play with, guys. That's all the collage fodder that we've made in the last little bit. So I just have it all kind of sitting together in a pile, and we're pretty much ready to start that. So we'll be making all kinds of ephemera pieces and doing some different things. So with this journal, I'm really starting to think outside the box. So I just wanted to share that. So I'm going to be like sharing some tips and tricks and some stuff that hasn't really been done before, and I'm getting more into textile art. So I just wanted to share that. It's going to be a lot of fun. So stay tuned, and I have more fun stuff coming. Thanks, everyone. Have a fabulous week, and I'll see you back next week. Thanks, everyone. Bye.